Those owners simply locked up the store. Fort Worth's health department removed the store from its list of active food establishments, and the electricity was shut off. With the power now gone, the refrigerators turned off, and the food would soon spoil.
Oh, and spoil it did. Like, you have no idea. Well, you guys have all practically demanded more Lost Media content from me, so I'm very happy to oblige. Hello, my disciples. I'm Voice Crack the Dark the Damned, because what the hell was that intro? Sorry, I'm excited to do this because I'm a massive Lost Media nerd. But anyways, what are we discussing today? The Mexia supermarket. We're going to be reacting to the biological horrors behind the Mexia supermarket by Rob's Media. And I'm really looking forward to this because the Mexia supermarket is actually in my top 10 pieces of Lost Media that I really want found. I really want to know what the hell went on in that supermarket. Because as I'm sure Rob will describe in this video, it was pretty freaking terrifying in that supermarket. So without further ado, let's get right into this. I'm going to full screen and I hope you guys enjoy. Okay.
The crime scene of a cold case, the site of many break-ins, and a biological horror festering within a small community. All three of these things can perfectly describe Mexia's supermarket.
Oh, and also, the footage you're seeing now is the only footage of inside of the supermarket as they were cleaning it. And this is only partially found as well. It's why it's considered lost media. There are parts of it that we still need to look for, and honestly, we don't even know if the full footage is still around, because it's been a long time since this market had been cleaned up. Well, for media preservation time, it's been a long time. But I'm hopeful one day maybe something will turn up.
Here's the full story.
Alright, I'm excited. Let's see this.
3900 South Hemphill Street in South Fort Worth, Texas. This was the location of the Dallas-based supermarket called Daniel's Food Stores. The 36,000 square foot building seemingly opened in the 1980s, though it closed around 1997. This is most likely due to a disturbing incident that occurred on May 29, 1994.
Aw, that's really sad to see.
18-year-old manager Eduardo Lopez was approached by a Hispanic gunman who demanded to see the safe. Eduardo, who had no choice, took the man into the office. He was then shot and killed, with the man hiding his body in the freezer.
Wow. I mean, what kind of horrible person does that to an 18-year-old? I mean, come on.
To this day, there doesn't seem to be any suspects, and not
Really?
much information is publicly available online. The building would soon get new owners, being two unknown individuals that came to the United States from Laos.
Yep, here we go, and this is where the Mexia supermarket is born.
The name was changed to the Mexia Supermarket, with them receiving a $975,000 business loan from the Advanced Investment Corporation. It was supposed to be paid over the course of 15 years, but as you'll soon see, that never happened.
Yeah, that's going to be a trend, by the way. You'll see that these owners weren't exactly the most caring when it came to the supermarket. Just you wait.
The business officially opened sometime in late 1998, with their first taxable season being October of that year. The store struggled financially, as it was unable to make a profit, despite the owners owing $1.14 million to various creditors. They eventually filed a Chapter 7 bankruptcy protection by September 28, 1999.
Wow, that's not long in business. Chapter 7 bankruptcy, by the way, if you don't know, basically means they're going to liquidate everything. All parts of the company, the ownership, etc. to try and get as much money out of the company or building as possible before they shut the whole thing down. I know that thanks to me loving Bright Sun Films, which, if you want me to watch any of his videos, be sure to let me know.
The ownership of Mexia soon transferred to a bankruptcy trustee. The owners would flee the US following this, supposedly returning to Laos instead of staying and dealing with the financial mess they got themselves into.
And as you guys will see shortly, that was one of the biggest mistakes ever. Just you wait. Abandonment, oh yeah.
What should have happened from here is that the trustee would need to be solely responsible for disposing Mexia's inventory. However, this never happened, due to a series of miscommunication errors. Those owners simply locked up the store. Fort Worth's health department removed the store from its list of active food establishments, and the electricity was shut off. With the power now gone, the refrigerators turned off, and the food would soon spoil.
Oh, and spoil it did. Like, you have no idea.
While at the time,
Well, you might if you've watched it, but yeah, it's going to be pretty insane.
it wasn't known what was going on inside. the effects on the outside were still devastating. By mid-October 1999, nearby residents began complaining of the smell, as it was so foul that it would cause headaches to anyone who walked near the store. A housekeeper who worked nearby said, "It is strong, especially when the wind is blowing."
Oh, I love seeing these old kind of the time newspapers. But yeah, imagine walking by that just over so many weeks and months. Just everything that was stored in there, meats and fruit, just rotting and rotting. Imagine all of that combined. It would just, the stench, I wouldn't even want to imagine it. And people walking by, yeah, if it gives you a headache, that's a problem. Until this, I actually didn't know that rotten food could give you a headache if it smelled that bad, but it can.
I told my husband several times that something smelled awful. Something smelled like dead animals. Then one day, I walked over there, and there were flies all over it. It was gross. Following these complaints from locals, Fort Worth officials started an investigation. A company called A+ Budget Movers were hired to handle the situation, with them being told to start cleaning out the store on November 2nd. They declined to do so, as they...
Oh, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt there. The cleaning process of sorting out Mexia supermarket was very unique, which I'm sure Rob will go into here.
felt this job was beyond their expertise. Yeah, that's how bad
Whoa.
this was. Though apparently the smell wasn't bad enough for two teenage boys, who reportedly broke in on November 13th. They were...
What? I didn't know there was a break-in. Who the hell would want to break into that? Yeah, I know teenagers, being teenagers, but I think the smell alone would make pretty much 90% of people just run for the hills. What, did they have like a sinus infection and couldn't smell anything? I don't know, man. What the hell were those kids thinking?
Found on the roof by police after stealing various non-food items from inside. Police caught them after a short foot chase, with their justification being that it was one of the boys' 18th birthday, and they wanted to do something unorthodox to celebrate.
Then go to a fucking strip club. Just do anything except break into a hazardous, contaminated, abandoned store. Wow.
Neither had their names publicly revealed due to one of them being 14.
Yeah, fair enough.
It turns out, though, that this wasn't the only break-in, as
There was more? Why?
police reports that were uncovered a year ago showed that a 55-year-old man was arrested as well. The man had been dumpster diving in the area and managed to find a large quantity of cigarettes, batteries, and a 12-pack of beers. He had 2 outstanding local traffic warrants, justifying his arrest. There was a third break-in reported, though not much details are known besides the suspect escaping through a fire exit.
So there was 3 break-ins. I didn't know about any break-ins to Mexia, but yeah. I don't know why anybody would go there. I mean, literally, I will never condone this, by the way, but God forbid, if I was a thief, I would choose any other location except for a rotting, stinking, abandoned supermarket. It would kill me before I even made a profit. Yeah, here we go. My favorite part of this, the cleanup.
Since the A+ budget movers weren't able to do the cleanup, Fort Worth's Department of Environmental Management had to do it themselves. 2 officials, Ryan Borner and Jimmy McClurg, assessed the store, knowing that many precautions were needed to even enter the building now. I mean, the outside of it was swarming of rats and cockroaches.
And then just all the waste and everything that came from said rats and cockroaches.
Not to mention the repugnant smell that could be sensed from miles away. To combat this, barricades are put in place around the store, so that these pests couldn't invade the nearby community.
And actually, that's why they had to go in and manually clean everything up. It's not like they could explode the building, burn it, etc. Because if they did any of that, it would, A, it would make all of the animals run away, so there's the chance that they could invade different houses. And then B, well, all that, containment, the filthy air, everything, the disgusting smells, all of that would get out, and God knows what that could do.
This could have caused an outbreak due to how many diseases these creatures had.
Exactly.
Pesticides are also sprayed around the building to ensure this. Workers who entered Mexia's supermarket wore air filtering masks, hazmat suits, and oxygen tanks.
Basically the whole 9 yards.
And had to be decontaminated before exiting the property. The workers came from Garner Environmental Services, entering the building on November 16th. They would have entered the day before, but they had to delay in order to test the air quality. Yeah, it was that bad.
Yeah, I mean, again, do not understate just how foul everything was in that building. It is genuinely one of the most disgusting buildings I've ever heard about. I mean, when I first heard it from BlameItOnJorge's video on Lost Media, it shocked me to my core. I was also eating at the time as well.
But it was even worse inside. Rat shit caked the floors. There were so many flies that if
You literally couldn't see in front of you.
you laid out your hand, you couldn't even see it. Numerous insect species were crawling around, while others were dead and decomposing. One of the workers of Gardner Enterprises, Todd Johnson, said, "It was one of the worst smelling projects in my history. When rats die from the bacteria, you truly understand that it's a bad atmosphere and lethal for the workers." The fruits and vegetables inside were rotting. The milk containers had exploded due to the high amount of lactic acid and other gases.
And again, imagine all of that, how bad milk spoils, and just left there for months and months. Combine that with all the other just horrible stuff in there. I'm surprised anybody even had the cojones to go in there, but I suppose it had to be done. It's why I'll always have respect for people who work these kind of laborious, disgusting jobs like plumbers, contamination workers, etc. Because they had the balls to come and do this, so they have all the respect from me. I would never do this. They couldn't even pay me $1 trillion.
Packaged meat either seemed untouched or were covered in some sort of grayish-black goo. In an interview, Brian Borner said, "I've been in this business for 14 years. This is the first time I've ever heard of this. You think of what has been in there for 90 days.
Yeah, that's pretty much like nearly 3 months. Nearly 3 months of everything just being left.
Produce, dairy, meats. It's kind of hard to comprehend. Much of this food is removed by hand, though shovels and front-end loaders had to
Yeah, I think we can all agree. They had to touch that stuff. Ugh.
be used for some of it. They'd be placed into hazardous material bags before being driven to the local landfill. Between the week of November 23rd to the 30th, cash registers, fixtures, and non-perishable food items were removed before the entire store was fumigated. Initially, it was reported that this cleanup cost around $10,000 to $15,000, though it was later reported on the site, Groceteria, that the Fort Worth City Council said it cost over $100,000.
Yeah, no kidding. I was gonna say, like 10, 12,000, nah, get out of it. It's a lot more than that. 100,000, and that was like during the 90s as well. Imagine how much that's worth now. Yeah, it can't be understated, just like the severity of everything with this.
This incident remained obscure until 2010, and brief bits of footage were aired on television.
That's right, and now it's going to talk about why it's lost media, because it is.
On January 26, 2010, the History Channel show Life After People aired an episode called The Last Supper.
And in it is the only footage that we currently know of the Mexia supermarket, of the people going in to actually clean it. This is the only footage that exists.
It, of course, talks about what would happen to our food supply if humanity were to die out. It uses the Mexia supermarket cleanup as a case study into the topic. Not much footage is shown though, maybe only around 1.5 minutes worth. This has led to many wondering what happened to the rest of the footage, and why it isn't readily available online right now.
Yeah, it's a real shame that it's not.
There's rumors that some of the footage was shown on local news reports back in 1999, with one user on the site, Soulstrut, writing, "The images on the news is what gave me bad dreams. Windows blackened by millions of roaches, rats, and swarms. Also, what fucked me up was footage of people breaking in and stealing food even after all this time."
Why? Why would they do that after it's been rotting for nearly 3 months? Again, God forbid if you were ever going to steal something, go to a regular place. Why the abandoned, smelling, decomposing shop? God, people are just freaking... I mean, so, what's it? Trying to figure the term. Give me a second, I'll figure it out.
A few inches later.
Natural selection, that's it. It's natural selection for a reason, guys. I mean, come on.
Imagine walking through a place like that for some canned goods. The smell had to be apocalyptic. 2-month-old fish, 2-month-old carrots, pork, thousands upon thousands of rat droppings. I was obsessed with the story, hence why I dreamed about it, being in there. Friend of the
Yeah, genuinely. Is he going to talk about Blame It on George's video too?
channel Gubby covered this topic in August 2023, leading to Lost Media Wiki user Benjamin McHale doing his own investigation. He watched the credits of the Life After People episode, and noticed that the footage was provided by the Environmental Management Department of the City of Fort Worth. McHale got in contact with Anthony Williams, their current supervisor. He was unable to find any additional footage, though did say that the footage shown on TV was recorded by Jimmy McClurg.
People tried to contact him, unfortunately, to no avail.
Sadly, McClurg has since passed away. He then contacted the Special Collections at North Texas University.
Oh wait, maybe it was another person they contacted. I don't know. They tried to talk to somebody who was actually there and who saw it, and they said that the footage is most likely lost forever. I'm pretty sure that's how it went.
Who were able to confirm when the footage was taken. They had the footage, but could not provide a digital copy upon
Or I'm a liar. I don't know, I'm misremembering. It's been a while since I've seen the Blame It on George video.
requests. They suggested contacting other North Texas archives for a copy, but McHale ended up contacting Brian Borner instead.
No, yep, I was right. Yeah, this is the guy they contacted. I remember now.
Brian said that the film was recorded by a home VHS camera, but is now considerably deteriorated. This is why only brief bits of footage were shown on Life After People, as much of the footage is damaged. Borner says that the original copy must be missing. In early 2024, Mexia got in contact with Ron Jenkins, a photographer who had taken photos during the cleanup. He pointed in the direction of the Southwest Collection at UTA, which is where these photos were held.
Oh, okay, so these are new.
Another Lost Media Wiki user named Nicolette Astor managed to find them.
Yeah, current day, what do we have? I'm curious.
As of now, no additional footage has been located, though there's still hope. Someone out there must have it. But
surely with, like, the attention this had, and just the amount of precautions that they took, I imagine anybody would try to get some kind of footage just because, like, the sheer disbelief behind it, that this actually existed and it really was this bad. There has to be more footage out there, definitely. We just gotta track it down.
Many of the leads are dead. The supermarket itself was eventually redone, with it now being a Dollar General.
I still can't believe it exists now. Like, I'd just tear the damn thing down. Surely it's cursed.
This incident seemingly taught the city of Fort Worth a lesson: hold people accountable. The owners who fled to Laos should have helped in ensuring the store was cleaned up.
They don't really have anyone else to blame. They should have forced the people who owned the shop before they left to clean everything up. Because if they don't, this happens. Sometimes you just have to learn the hard way, and I guess the city had to learn the hard way this time.
The health department should have checked up on the location regularly, and this food should not have been wasted. Jan Pruitt, the executive for the North Texas Food Bank, stated, "That made us all sick. All that food wasted, and it could have been saved with just one phone call."
Yeah, like, this was so easily preventable. I'm sure there's loads of places they could have donated the food, dropped it off, like homeless shelters, charities, other shops, etc. Like, they could have prevented all of that from happening, but they wasted so much time from the city, they wasted a lot of resources, and they got many people sick and uncomfortable, all because they couldn't be asked to do any more cleaning. Honestly, screw the people who own this shop, really.
It doesn't matter which food bank you call anybody. Different parties are playing the blame game, leading to the city having to shell out over 100 grand. Not only that, but an outbreak could have occurred, especially with all the different people attempting to break in. Maybe if there's any updates to the story, I'll let you know. Stay tuned for more Lost Media content eventually. I have a big one coming out in May. See ya.
Wait a minute. Oh, what are the chances of that? He's using the same background as me. That's really funny. He has the same background that I do. That was the Mexia supermarket, basically a explanation by Rob's Media. Please be sure to go and check out this video. I will link it in the description. I love the Mexia supermarket story, and I really hope one day it gets found, because I really want to see that footage, because God forbid what they could have captured. I'm Dart the Damned. If you enjoyed and you want to see more Lost Media content and maybe more Lost Media reactions, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel to become one of my disciples, and comment down below, what do you think about the Mexia supermarket, and let me know what video you want me to make next on Lost Media. I'll see you guys later. Take care, my disciples.